Peace be with you, everyone. Welcome to my channel. My name is Trevor. Really grateful to have you here with me. So in today's video, I'm just going to be going over my weekly rotation from the last week, which was, I think today is the 29th or the 30th of January. So kind of wrapping up January here, just kind of starting to really get back into the normal flow of January for me where I'm at. It's been kind of very springish, like the weather's been so mild here for winter in the Midwest that the grass hasn't even browned yet. So what little snow we have been getting, it melts and then there's greenery showing back up. So like I said, it's been very spring-like for me where I've been at, but luckily this past week the temperatures have been dipping back down. Normally I kind of hate the cold, but having fragrances that are deep, resinous, ambery, boozy really kind of make me enjoy that type of weather more. So you know, without further ado, I'm going to get right into the list. So Monday, I unfortunately got called in for jury duty, so I spent the day taking some time off of work. Unfortunately, was missing out on some pay because my work doesn't compensate. So it was a little bit of a hassle Monday. Luckily, I was able to get out of it. Didn't have to stay for the full trial, but since I was in closed doors the whole time, kind of like an office setting with a lot of people, I went for this fragrance right here, Angel Schlescher Deep Leather. So a little bit of an unknown house. I did a video on this line here. The perfumer is the same person that's done Parfums de Marly, Leighton, Pegasus, Percival, and Sedley. So really masterful craft going into the bottle. The downside with this fragrance and the line is that they're a little bit linear, but the quality of ingredients is really up there, so I rather enjoy this a lot. Really beautiful kind of powdery vanilla with, it says leather, but I don't get too much leather out of it as in terms of like ombre leather or Tuscan leather style fragrance. It does have a nice smoothness though. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the leather in Ferragamo Uomo Signature. But the scent profile itself is very, very reminiscent of Lalique Pour Homme Lion's Head. So this was my fragrance of the day for jury duty on last Monday, Angel Schlescher Deep Leather. Moving on into Tuesday, so like I said, the temperature's been dropping back down. We've been getting into the 10s and 20s Fahrenheit, starting to get a little bit more snow. It hasn't been particularly sticking or piling up, which has been nice. It's been enough to dust the scenery and make it kind of beautified for that winter vibe, but I haven't had to shovel anything, so that's been nice. So getting back into the flow of winter, I went and grabbed Bulgari's Man in Black. One of the reasons I grabbed for this one was because if you were following my community tab, one of the discounters that I shop at had a handful of these going for $35, which was an incredible price. This one's really climbed up to around like $100 normally. So those of you that got in for that price, I actually got a backup bottle for this, which is why I decided to wear this one, because I felt a little bit more liberal spraying it because I had some extra juice. So Bulgari's Man in Black, that was Tuesday, kind of accenting the drop in temperature going on, getting back into the little bit of the boozy, spicy, kind of spice bomb scent profile with this one, if you're familiar with it. Beautiful stuff, Alberto Moreira's creation. Tuesday, Bulgari's Man in Black. So Wednesday, oh, no, I think that was, yeah, there we go. Wednesday, I went for Bentley for Men Eau de Toilette. Like I said, just kind of the temperature starting to drop back down. Boozy fragrances are my favorite to wear in the bitter cold. January is kind of like my boozy fragrance month. This one, I feel I get a lot more projection on my skin than the Intense, and this one inclines more towards the boozy facets rather than the smoky, vanillic facets that the Intense does. I personally think this one's a little bit more wearable, and I like this one more, although I think both of them are great. Beautiful wafts that I was picking up off of this one while I was out and about doing delivery for the restaurant. I didn't get any compliments, but I feel like I got a look from a lady when I was bringing her food up to the door that, maybe she was like, is this guy drinking while driving, like delivering my food? Don't know if that was exactly what she was thinking, but she did kind of give me a puzzled look. Nonetheless, beautiful vanillic boozy fragrance with a lot of projection, a lot of wafting around going on in the air. Beautiful stuff. Nathalie Lorson. This whole line is pretty worth checking out, especially for the price point. Bentley, probably my favorite car brand. Right alongside Ferrari, but I think Ferrari discontinued doing fragrances, so definitely check this one out if you haven't already. That's Bentley for Men Eau de Toilette. Okay, so Thursday I was doing some testing. I got a new fragrance in, kind of doing some treasure hunting, trying to find some nice cheapies. I did a video, first impressions update on this fragrance, and that is Shanghai Tang Black Iris. I was really excited for this fragrance. You know, getting a cheap iris fragrance is something that was kind of getting my hopes up. Unfortunately, this is more of a nutmeg fragrance than an iris fragrance. I don't get really much iris at all in this, other than some very, very subtle sweetness. Incredibly intimate fragrance, which, you know, like I said in the video that I did on this one, the scent profile is pretty decent, but it's very linear. It's just like a flat kind of nutmeg, kind of flat, sweet nutmeg, something that you would get from like opening up a spice cabinet. But that's pretty much it. It just kind of sits close to the skin, doesn't project much. It's kind of one-dimensional. It's well crafted. I think the scent itself is not unpleasant at all, but just kind of not really doing it for me in terms of the low projection, the flat linear scent profile. Not really my favorite, but I'm looking to kind of test it back out in the autumn time, see if it kind of projects a little bit more when it's warmer, if the sun hits it, what kind of you know, reactions it has in different weather patterns. But right now this one is kind of a dud for me. So Thursday, a little bit of a letdown of a wearing. That was Shanghai Tang Black Iris. Okay, so Friday I like to kind of wear some more upper class fragrances. Friday I kind of treat as like my Sunday's best. It's my favorite day of the week. So I went with this one. A little bit hard to find, and beautiful, beautiful scent profile. Definitely one of my favorites to wear in the bitter cold. Very, very warm amber, a lot of woodiness, incredible projection, and that is Lotus et Pour Homme Noir Ambre. So when this one is at discounters, you can pick it up for around $90. That's what I got mine for at FragranceBuy.ca. I think it was going for even less on FragranceNet when it was hitting the shelves there. But so far, thoroughly impressed with this fragrance, so much so that I went ahead and recently placed an order for another one of Issey Miyake's cold weather fragrances, that is Oran Sans. I'm waiting for that one in the mail this week. Hopefully I'll be able to do a first impression sometime soon on that one. But like I said, this one is probably the best amber fragrance that I've ever gotten my nose on. Incredible, just nice woody texture, fuzzy sort of staticky vibe going on from the woods in here, and then just the amber is incredibly sweet and just cuts through the cold incredibly well. This was probably my favorite wearing of the week, this past rotation. So was definitely wafting around in the cold, you know, accenting the nice snow that was kind of coming down, just giving me such a warming sensation. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I don't really like the cold, but it's fragrances like this that are starting to make me look forward to winter, and I've never been like that as a person. So just goes to show the power of fragrance to kind of make things that are bitter, literally bitter cold, more palatable for somebody. So that's Friday, Lotus et Pour Homme Noir Ambre. Okay, so Saturday I did a video about hitting up the rack stores and mentioned that this was my fragrance of the day then. Once again, it was kind of dipping down into the 20-degree Fahrenheit, so I wanted something you know, boozy, cold, or boozy and sweet and warm and comforting, and I went with Pacha de Cartier Parfum. As you can see, got a nice big old dent in there. One of my favorite fragrances to wear in the cold weather. Beautiful, nice green balsam fir that kind of hits the opening and has this monstrous projection. Just, you know, you definitely get that nice green foresty kind of accent for the first hour or two on this one, and then it dries down into this incredibly creamy, sweet, boozy liqueur kind of feel. Definitely probably my second favorite wearing, right behind the Noir Ambre for this week. definitely just was incredible walking back and forth between the Ross and the Marshalls on the sidewalk in the cold. This was wafting around. Didn't get any compliments. I think this entire week I didn't get any compliments on any of my fragrances, but this one is a masterpiece, and I think you can find it for under $100, so definitely check this one out. You know, we've got about 2 months left of winter, all of February, and a good chunk of March I think is technically still winter, so definitely check this one out, Pacha de Cartier Parfum. And now finally for Sunday, so if you did watch my rack store video, when I was there I ended up picking up a commodity fragrance, Bergamot, so that was kind of a nice little treasure find that I got at the rack store. When I was there I also found something called Shield Black Leather, which is, when I sniffed it off the atomizer, it was almost identical to Tom Ford's Ombre Leather. I didn't end up picking that one up that day, however, it was bothering me so much that I didn't. I went back Sunday morning and grabbed it. So that was my scent of the day on Sunday, Shield Black Leather. So I did get a chance to give a full wearing to this one that day. I will say I put this one on both sides of the neck, or behind both ears, on the back of the neck, and then all up my left arm, and then I went ahead and put the original Ombre Leather on my right hand here. And there are some marked differences, so the atomizer, you know, or at least like when I was getting a chance to smell both of them side to side, there are some pretty significant differences. This one somewhat lacks the sweetness. I don't know if there's any patchouli in this one at all, but there's no alcohol blast in this, so it's pretty high quality in that sense. It spot on delivers the leather note that's in Ombre Leather, so it perfectly emulates the leather in Ombre Leather, but it's missing some little bits of dimension. The opening in Ombre Leather is a little bit more potent. It's got a lot more projection. This one sits a little bit closer to the skin, but not by much. And then, like I said, I don't know if there's any patchouli in this one. There might be some amber, but there's like a significant sweetness in the Ombre Leather that is absent from this one. However, I put this on my left hand, Ombre Leather on my right hand, and had my wife sniff both of them, and I didn't tell her, you know, like anything about the two fragrances, the prices or anything, and just wanted her blind opinion. And she said she actually preferred this one because the Ombre Leather was like a little bit too loud. Granted, it was like freshly sprayed on both hands, and the you know, the projection on the Ombre Leather, like I said, is a little bit more than this one, but she definitely said they were very similar. They both smelled like leather. This one was a little bit more dry, so the Ombre Leather has a little bit more of like a supple leather to it, whereas this one I could see being like cracking, like the leather was cracking on this one. Not quite as brand new car smell, but definitely still has that rugged, exact scent profile of the leather in Ombre Leather. So looking to get some more wares out of this one. Definitely check this one out if you see it out at your rack stores. It was only $15, and it is really, like I said, you know, I rarely go for clones just because my budget is constantly trying to acquire things, you know, like the real thing, just if so that I do get a clone, I can actually compare it and offer some value to you guys. But this one was good enough that I passed on it at first because I had the real thing and had to go back to get it and just kind of do a review on it like this. So I am actually looking forward to wearing this one, and like I said, my wife at least preferred the opening of this one to the real Ombre Leather. Okay, so that was my week in fragrance. I had a lot of, you know, gold and black kind of bottle styles going on here. A lot of some booziness, some ambers, some wood, classic sort of wintertime vibes. Let me know how your weekly rotation went in the comments down below, and I'll be looking forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care.